It doesn't matter that much if 3,000 people a year go to hospital from car crashes or 100 go to the morgue. Unless, of course, it's one of us or our family or friends, in which case, entirely different circumstances. We had better do most of our travel on fully automatic cars, on exclusive track, in perfect safety. But we should still use our cars when it's more convenient. The 6,000 assaults a year by strangers is just boys being boys, and also doesn't matter. Unless, of course, you are vulnerable. In which case, use private vehicles from point to point without exposure at stops. And while we're being sensitive, there are another 6,000 assaults a year by our domestic partners. We're video monitoring inside and out of the vehicle can be used for Big Brother to detect disrespect and call it out in 14 languages. I saw the horror on people's faces when I said, "We can jam 70% more traffic down your street with two-phase intersections." They wanted less traffic. And for years, their complaints about noise, pollution, visual blight, and the occasional errant car crashing through their front window have been ignored. We even use L1018 to measure noise. So, if a truck clangs at a speed hump outside your bedroom window and wakes you at 12 p.m, it doesn't count. For two reasons. One, it's after 11, and the second, it doesn't last for 10% of the time. We dismiss the visual impact of Skyrail, but paint it green to be environmentally sensitive. We've all heard the whinging about congestion, but get real. Congestion's less than half the problem. Trip times within 10k of the CBD are only at 15k's. You just Google distance from Mooney Ponds to the CBD in the AM peak. It's 30 minutes for only 7k. Existing designs for the Jetsons can do it 4 times as fast, flying over the top of all obstacles, and use upmarket vehicles that are simpler than the common car. These podcars cost only 5 cents a vehicle kilometre to run. Less than half the cost of a petrol for a small car. They can have a flow rate of 1 vehicle a second and are extremely reliable with no prospect of traffic incidents. Imagine if you're able to predict how long your trip will take. Make an appointment, or worse still, tell your wife you'll be home by 6 p.m. and then arrive at 7:30 with the same old excuse, stuck in traffic. The Jetsons don't stop for roadworks or traffic incidents. Infrastructure Australia say that fares cover only 22% of transport costs. Balancing the budget must ring hollow with small business, as there's no political chance of a fivefold fare increase unless we got serious and adopted lightweight cars with low energy use. Spending our child's inheritance on improvements to legacy transport systems not only reduces their chance of home ownership, but leaves them with a worse transport performance. It's common to quote the number of construction jobs for a project, but that only relates to the jobs of the highly paid construction workers and does not account for the equivalent number of jobs lost due to roadworks delays. More balanced thought about job creation starts with profitability of the transport system and is followed by avoidance of jobs lost by slow trips. At the rural extreme, if you live in remote Woods Point and want to go to Bunnings, catch your only bus on a Thursday, but you have to wait till next Thursday to go back home. Podcasts would be instantly available, cost less than the bus, but require capital cost to develop the route. Only rural routes servicing 1,000 households would pay their way. Do the profitable urban routes first to fund the rural development, and then provide universal, excellent service to access the country. "300-kilogram electric cars use 8 times less energy than trains, and so create much less CO2. Low construction costs of $13 million per kilometre for dual track, including 6 stops and 100 cars, can break even with a revenue of $2 million a kilometre, but the expected revenue is $30 million a kilometre. Adam Smith would say that's $1 million for the workers, $1 million for the investors, and $28 million for the landowners, which is the state. While we're counting the cash, the high profits are only available for 1,300 kilometres of arterial roads in Melbourne, yielding $36 billion, and a further 700 kilometres of feeder routes would have little or no rental value, but are needed to deliver excellent service. For a level playing field, public transport would cease trading while it continues to be insolvent. There are actually no real excuses for the road toll, for ignoring security, for trashing arterial amenity, for slow or unreliable trips, for financial child abuse, for supporting fewer jobs, or for not providing instant transport for our country cousins, except that you have to switch on the brain and decide that you want to solve all the transport problems. And that can only be done with Aerial Podcast.